you're probably questioning yourself, should I buy a house in 2023 this year? You'll probably want to listen to this first before you get your answer. And we want to go over those things. And the first thing really is to prepare. Now you're probably questioning, well, what do you mean prepare? What should I prepare? And there's many factors you have to consider. Myself as a real estate agent, I'm here to support you, to guide you, and to do a lot of the work, but beginning of the step really should be the job of a loan officer.
That is actually a very good point in the sense of when you look at the purchase process, it's also very common that you want to start with a real estate agent, which is the person that's going to show you all the amazing properties that are out there that are for sale that might be able to fit your budget, where you are in your life now with your family. But the more important thing about the home purchase process is really understanding how much we are actually eligible to afford. And that is probably one of the most important parts of our purchase process, is educating you on the different ways that we could get you pre-approved for a property, as well as the trajectory, and also it could be a little bit of a journey before we get there. And the reason we say that is on the lending side, we have what we call the four C's of lending. The first C is capacity, and what that really translates to is how are you able to pay for the loan. So this involves your income. It involves any employment that you have or any sources of income. We have to make sure that we have documented enough time that we can say, hey, this person obviously can hold a job, right, to be able to pay their bills. The second thing that we look at is collateral. So obviously the property. We want to make sure that the property is in good condition, the property meets our guidelines. So that's when we work really closely with your agent. We also look at your credit. So your score on your credit report is something that it's one of the four factors. So one factor is not going to break it or make it. It's just how we use the combination. So your score on your credit report is also one of the elements that we look at. And the last one that we look at are your capitals, and that translates to your reserves. So if we're looking for a property and we have minimal reserves, then we're probably going to go towards a property or a program that covers your down payment and your closing costs, or we're going to see if we can negotiate some of the closing costs with our sellers, through our agent. If we're looking to save money for a down payment, then that also reduces your monthly payment because we have to borrow less, and it also could help you look a little bit more appealing on your credit character. But again, it's just one of four factors that we look at. So when we ask these questions about reserves, that's the main reason, is we need to know what sort of program we want to put you on, or at least quote for you based on where we are.
And in this case too is that if you're planning on buying a home, one thing that we also would want you to understand up front is, income stability. So even though you worked at a job for over 2 years, are you going to potentially get laid off? Are you going to get a promotion? So those are things that you yourself would also have to consider. And as Anna said, there's down payment programs, there's grant programs, but overall there's a lot of loan programs from my understanding, right? Mm-hmm. Cool.
There is more than we can really keep track of, to be honest. So when it comes to the right program for everybody, there isn't the right program. There's really an option,
multiple
quite
options.
A bit of options, and it's really just lining up where we are. And that could also mean, what if we don't have the reserves that we want now or need, or what if we don't have the score that's going to help us get into the programs that we want
forward, right?
Exactly. So we want to know where we are now, so that we can either start shopping and go for it, or we want to start the process now, so that we can prepare for when we are ready,
to plan.
Because we don't want to
have your house broke.
Exactly. And we don't want you to miss out on good opportunities ever. But there's never going to be a right time to start the process. There's never going to be the right time to buy a house.
It's just
you
to
make
be
the
prepared.
Right time. Yeah. You decide. You're the one that basically sets our tone, and we are here to support you throughout the entire process.
So did you know that if you had this initial conversation with Anna or any loan officers, that they don't charge for an initial consultation? Let's say, for instance, you are not even planning on looking for a home until next year in 2024. The initial conversation to get you, into being prepared and planning, You don't charge for anything, right?
No, not at all. So we do, I mean, really the consultation is at no cost. There are no fees that you need to worry about during the preparation process, which really is to your advantage. And the reason for it is before we can, start talking about how much you need to bring in at closing, we need to evaluate where we are with our financing. The only thing that we are going to charge, or really our only cost, is your time. So we are always going to be very conscious of your time. We are flexible with your schedule, whatever your time, allows with work and, your life. That's, our priority is we work for you, not the other way around.
To us, we believe that everybody deserves a home. And in this case, we're not in it for ourselves. A reason why I got into, real estate and this industry in general is that when people go through a new chapter in life and it's something that, it's big, it's overwhelming, it's stressful, I want to be there to help during those times. If you're getting married, I want to do your makeup. So it's always finding a reason to help you on your big chapters in life. And again, this isn't for us, this is for you. This video is made for you.
Yes. And to your point, Kim, in the sense of we are here for you. We are here because we genuinely believe that everybody does deserve the, dream of home ownership, and there are so many ways to get you there. One of the main things that can get you there is really your mindset. If this is what you really want for you and your family, you can make that happen, on the worst, stormiest day of the year. The whole mindset that you have. We are here to support your initiatives. We're here to support your journey. But you having that confidence in yourself that there is a way to make this happen for you and your family, that is the number one, step, is you believing that this is something that you can do. And we're right behind you.
Make it a reality for the future, right?
Exactly.
Which, what's really sad is that there are actually people out there who have that kind of mindset. And I've talked to them several times. They just shut you down. Mm-hmm. They're shutting it down for themselves. So you go and tell yourself, I can't buy a home, or, I'm never going to buy a home. You're allowing that negativity into your head. And that's what you're just going to continue to have. A really good example too, actually, is that, on my Instagram, if you are following me, with my Instagram, I try to be very positive. And the reason being is that the more positive I am, the more that energy spreads out to my followers, my friends and family. And so people understand and they actually feel better, every day. I have people commenting and sending me a message that says, Kim, you are so positive. It makes me feel really good. And that's what you really need to have. I mean, let's say an example, right, is that you have been searching for a Jeep and you're wanting a specific white Jeep. And the more you thought about it, the more you start seeing it everywhere you go. You start noticing white Jeeps. It's the same thing. If you're going to tell yourself, I'm not going to be able to do it, you're going to start getting all of that same energy. And that's something that you don't want to have. I mean, honestly, the more negative energy you have, the more you start to go down, unfortunately, in that depression hole. And we don't want you to be there. Nobody should be there. I believe in manifestation. A lot of people may not, but it really does help. The more you say it out loud, the more you start practicing it. Instead of saying, I can't, just say, I will try. Be more open-minded to trying and experiencing things, because by the end of the day, if you experienced it and you hated it, at least you had your experience, right? But if you experienced it and it's meant to help you overcome your comfortability to grow, then that's kind of where, you want to be. And it has a lot to do with, buying a home too, because it is already overwhelming and stressful. Mm-hmm. And to tell yourself, I can't buy a house, I'm not going to be able to buy a house. I mean, you're restricting yourself from that, chance of being able to make that a reality. I want you, first step, to tell yourself that you can do it, and that in reality, accept the help that, we're trying to give you, mm-hmm. so that we can make your dream a reality.
Mm-hmm. And it is a lot that we ask, and it is a lot of details that we're going to, be diving into. And the most, for us, we want to make sure that you feel comfortable, right? So that's one of the elements in building a relationship with our clients, is helping them feel like we are trustworthy, like we are knowledgeable in our field. because we don't want to obviously be one of the bunch that leads anybody astray. And to your point, it's a very good mentality to have, because sometimes when we pre-approve somebody, or when we're in the process of pre-approving, it'll be like, maybe we need to increase the score a little bit more to give us better program options, or even maybe to qualify. Sometimes we need to work on, building our credit. And if we start with the right mentality, in the sense of, okay, I am saving for my down payment, or I am building my credit, you're gonna walk around your life every single day thinking that, right? Like, I don't need to spend this because I am on the budget, or I need to make sure that I don't get fired so that I can pay my bills because I'm building my credit, right? So making sure that you maintain your goal top of mind, that's going to set you up for every single step that is going to be asked of you really throughout the rest of the process.
As you know, this video wasn't meant for us to tell you whether you should or shouldn't buy a home this year of 2023.
The main purpose of the video was to go into more depth about the things that you should know and consider, so that you can make the decision on whether or not you should buy a home or not this year.
We are here to empower you to find your answers and to believe in yourself a little bit more, so that this home buying process is a lot less stressful, less overwhelming, and you feel like you are knowledgeable in the home buying process.
There's power in information, and there's a lot of power in understanding what your options are, and that is what we're here for. We want to empower you with knowledge.
And we want to be here to support you and to do as much as we can to make a goal become a reality. So we really appreciate you watching this video. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
I hope it helped, and if it doesn't, let us know. If you had any questions, comment below and let us know, and we will keep you up in the loop by you subscribe so that you get notified of our upcoming videos.
And we wanted to make this a little bit more interactive than just your average, YouTube video with information on home purchasing. So we want to open it up to questions. We get, hit with similar questions, and it would be, fine if we were just to go through a couple of our most, our Q&A, like our most commonly asked questions. But we really want to hear from you, the viewer. What questions do you have regarding the lending process, lending in general, programs, whatever it is, anything to do with the real estate side, in the sense of understanding what the pros are of having an agent and how to best use your agent.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks, Kim.